See the helicopter here? It's flying just fine, man. Nice, a breeze coming down this way, but it's like a twisted kind of breeze, you know? You know, a weather forecaster could say, hey, we got this kind of weather and this big area going this way, but they can't minimize it to maximize it. Now, Custom Technology Solutions is a solution to customize, to maximize the future of tomorrow, today, you know? I shut that business down, you know, nobody understood. Some NASCAR guys did, man. They got me out there doing simulators for NASCAR. Like, man, how can we simulate this, you know? Everybody trying to figure it out. So, in this big educational state, man, of educational towns all over the U.S., you know, everywhere in the United States of America, we got something going on. And we try to get it all together and everybody on the same page. So now I got a plane out there, it's flying, okay? He's coming around trying to do some research, you know? But it's a heavy plane, you know? If he slowed down too fast, he'll fall. Hard to do research that way, man, but an ultralight, you could slow down, try to fall, and see if you could catch an updraft and see what it's doing, you know, maybe a glide, and then turn the engines back on and take off again, you know? You can't do that with a big plane, but they go, when? How's that little plane gonna give us a, some research for, bigger planes? Like those things? Yeah, man, like those things. Oh, I tell you what, you see that little bird? That little bird over there gave you some research for those big planes, huh? I tell you what, this guy is still an instructor, man. He's like, man, I'm watching the road, man. Okay, I got a bucket lift here. I got a truck, car, everybody's lining up, trying to get all our ducks in a row so everybody understands what we're talking about, okay? So now we got a ledge. So we made the ledge a little bit bigger this time. Now what we got over here is we got an airport, okay? We got O2 scrubbers. You ever been to a space station and say you gotta have O2 scrubbers? Okay, here we go. And it says, God's like, hey, I gotta paint it this way, I gotta paint it this way. Paint it this way, paint it this way, like a fish, man. I says, okay, here you go. So we got a bigger thing, right? And what we got in Egypt, though, we got a sun. It's bringing the heat down, So we got the wind coming in this direction. We got to try and slow it down a little bit, but not a whole lot, because we don't want to make a lot of pressure yet. We just want to slowly build the pressure into the direction we want it to go. So I says, man, we got to clearing the way, man. Here we go. Okay, now we got this flat structure, right, like an airplane wing on the ground, but a little higher, you know, like we got sea level, then we got mountain level, and we got like way below in the valley, man. So what we can do is we check the telltales, man, out of the sail of the invisible fifth dimensional sail on a sailboat that we can't see, but we got a bucket, man. It's like just floating through the air. We don't know which way it's gonna go, you know. Oh, could fall off the ledge. Maybe we'll smooth it out a little bit. Okay, now he got in the way, he blocked the air, now he's turning the air on, right? We got a carburetor now. Combustion, here we go. Now we're gonna give you another pulse, here we go. Alright, so now we're combusting it like a big carburetor in outer space, man. Okay, now, air moves across the surface. Okay, now, the problem here is we got 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we take that structure, try to push it up, okay? It rolls off, gets the incline, okay? It says, hey, you guys ever heard that English word, inclination? If I had the slightest inclination, man. Okay, we got a little bit, man. Trying to smooth it out a little bit. Why? The drop off. Now the drop off comes over. That air is higher at a higher plane. So it's moving and it's heavy, man. It's a real fast mover. And when it come over the ledge, out of the higher pressure air system, it falls. And it starts to compact. Just like the airplane fall off the sky, hits the ground, gets compressed. Okay? So when hot air rises, it doesn't compress, man. It separates and it's trying to catch something. Can you catch it? I don't know. What do you got up there for me to catch? When I'm opening my hands to the sky and I'm like, please give me some water. Okay, so it come across the flat plains, it falls off, it's trying to go back up, right? Now, with a 4-side pyramid, 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're still thinking inside the box. Plus, the pyramid is made of really dry dirt. So we didn't triangulate properly, because you can't triangulate anything with 4 sides. Okay? 4 sides. Too many peas in a pod. 3 sides. Because you got a dry dirt, you know, and then you look up, and it's trying to get the, you know, I'm out of water. Okay, so I dug a well. Now no more water. I says, okay, so I gotta get some from up there. So I got the water coming down. We're moving the water around in the atmosphere with the Army Corps of Engineers, and it's like bulldozers, you know, down here and up there. Also got planes delivering the supplies, and we've got an aerial bulldozer, like it's invisible, moving the air around, you know. But it starts down here. So now we got air coming around, the air scrubbers, and it's coming around, and it's pushing this way. Meanwhile, we got a hot sun in this side. It's heating up the air, but it's pounding. Now the heat builds up against the atmosphere, okay, and eventually it starts to heat up the water. It starts to evaporate, right? And then we get this funky kind of outer layer shell, man, and it starts to work its way through a little bit, and it starts radiating. Now, if we got it radiating down here too, you know, we turn the world sideways and we go. Remember the Army Corps of Engineer video? We had the little. I said, when I turn my head sideways, that's when you gotta worry. And I had the little gas mask on. Well, it's because the birds, man. If the birds can't fly, we can't fly, you know? So we always look for birds when we're going to shore in a sailboat, okay? And when we're in the sky, we're looking for birds, you know? And if there's no birds, then we really got to do some design. So I come over here, we kind of compress here a little bit, right? And I come over here, and it build up, and then it build up, and it's got a swirl to it, and go up, right? Why? Because it's got a wall of resistance over there. I'll tell you about the resistance over here in a minute. And I said, well, then we got the trees, there's a moisture, right? Plus we got a downdraft, and plus you got a pushing, and you're making this thing go around and round, and it's like, plus we got a curveball on it. We're trying to get it to throw it up in the air. So we move back, we look at the ridge, okay? Now it's coming this way, it's coming across, but you see there's a little dip here. Now you got a little dipper with a little dipper in the sky. You got a little dipper and a big dipper. So that kind of puts a little flow, and a whole lot of flow. But you need a triangle, you see? And we can't triangulate that because there's no triangle there. It's just a 4-way. So you got a wind, and depending on which way, you got 2 winds pushing up, and you got 2 birds in the sky, way up there. Can you guys see the jets? Might just went behind the cloud coverage. Anyway, so you got the 2 jets up there, and they're trying to fly over, man, and deliver supplies. Okay? So at the same time, heat's coming down, and it's like, which way is the wavelength flexing? Which way is the wavelength flexing? I says, I don't know. Let me feel. Okay, I got a wind coming in. I gotta look at my telltales. It's dying down right now, but over there it's blowing to the right. And now it bounced off the trees, slowed down, build up a back pressure, and now it's kind of hanging there. Now it's blowing towards me. Okay, you got the tractor in the difference now. You see? So he's changing the wind flow. Here we go. And now I got a pressure over here. Now check this out. Just a little small change goes a long way. Now watch this. So as the heat's coming down, now I got clouds in the way. You know, I'm like, man, cloudy skies, clouds in the way, a little bit of shade. But there was heat there. Now the wind's picking up. See? Wind's picking up. Why? Because it's fusion. You see? Nuclear fusion. And it goes, man, but it's shade. No, man. It's nuclear fusion. You know? Like little pockets trying to fill up. Because when stuff evaporates, it spreads. And it looks for something to grab. Okay? And you got heat up there, so there's nothing to really grab up there. You know? And so it starts grabbing from underneath. Now the wind's pushing that way. Okay, now pay attention as it goes down and it swivels out, calm down, right? And so now we got like a twist that's coming this way and it's coming down and pushing that way. We got the buildings over there pushing up as it builds up. It's going up, it's lifting. And over here we got a pond, okay? So we got some lift over there. Plus we got all this. Now we got a resistance here. Now, when there's no cloud there, the sun come all the way through. And now we're pushing a bubble, like a bubble, like a rainbow, man. So now with no cloud there, we're pushing like a bubble, okay? And then when that bubble goes there, it creates a pressure zone, and the cloud wants to move into the bubble because, hey, we got an empty spot here, and fast-moving cool air from the ground, right? Or is it hot air? Well, if it's hot air and it's moving up, we're mixing with it, and it's spinning, and it's moving around, and we go, it's going up, and it's going up, and it says, man, and the wind's moving this way, but it's twisting, and you're like, man, well, I got a little heavier air to throw with here on my left side, and then I got a little bit on the right side that's pushing and going up here. Now, if I push over this way, I'll make it like a little invisible funnel, right? And then I got air moving and pushing it over, okay? Now I got a little resistance here. I got a forestry with some mist, not fog. I got mist, right? The mist is coming out. Okay, now remember that heat, okay? Remember that heat, okay? We got a vacuum over here. Heat's going somewhere, so while that's pushing that way, this way, it's moving up, moving the clouds over. Heat's coming through, here come the clouds, okay? Well, it's cool here for a minute because I'm standing next to the forest and I got a wall, build a wall, man. Okay, I got a wall, okay? Now I got over here, maybe the wind come through here, hits the trees. Now remember, I'm building up pressure here, so I'm rolling like tide, man. Rolling like tide. I bounce off the tree. Wind come through here, hits the tree, bounce off the tree. Now they got a wavelength, but how far can I get that pitch? I don't know. I got a little bit here kind of pushing through, and I got it hitting the building over there, and it's moving up, so it's sucking, and it's creating a vacuum, and it's twisting, okay? And I got this over here with a pond, man. It's coming up, and it's just evaporating because it's surrounded by trees, so I got this pushing up, and I go, man, remember that weather studio when you were a kid? I started to run. You come here and they took you to weather studio. He says, man, look at that. You go up, you twist it, right? What do you got? You got a clock spinning, okay? Now you got this coming down, right? And it's rolling tide. Bounce off, okay? Come over, and it hit back there, and it's creating even more compression. Now I'm loading a launch tube, an invisible torpedo. I got an invisible torpedo now, and this is coming down, and it's keeping the torpedo moving. Torpedo's moving, okay? Now, when the torpedo starts to hit that building, it's gonna flatten out like a pancake, wanna move up, and now I got a flow. Now I got half the torpedo going into the flow, and half the torpedo compressing, and I'm moving, and I got this over here, and I got this moving. Now I got the heat coming down. Okay, heat's coming down on me, man. I get my space ray gun out. And I got a little heat right here, There's no wind right here. I'm standing in a vacuum. I'm in the Mars zone, man. Right now, I'm in the Mars mission zone. But if I step over here, I got a little airflow. Why? Because I'm standing right next to the front line. This is what we need out there, Now I feel a nice, cool breeze coming off of this. Because why? I got a Mars ray gun right here, man. Okay, now I walk over here a little hot. Okay? So it's taking the moisture from the trees too at the same time. Okay, now I'm pushing here to get moisture back into the trees so it can press. It gets it into the forestry, runs it through the branches and stuff. The grass holds it down in the ground, and if it try to bring it up, there's some of the leaves that bring it back in. The roots bring it out of the ground, and the leaves bring it down to the ground, and try to keep it compressed in there. So a nice weather wall right there. I'm just pressing it in. It comes back over. Hey, and it comes down this way, and we're like, oh man, now let's do it again. We get it like, man, here we go. Here we go. I got Xavier in there, man. It's like, hey, can you call storm? Hold on. We're going to push the building back. Okay? And like, and we're blowing it. And we're like, get over there, man. It says, hey, you got that heat right there? Hold on a minute, man. Yeah, everything's at a standstill right now. Well, we got 3 little birds over there in an airplane right now, so we gotta wait and look at them. I don't know if you guys can see that. Well, it's just between the power lines, man. It's probably too small for their human eyes to see. Okay, now we go. There we go, man. So I'm standing here. I got this heat, man. Now, if the sun is there, and I got wind here, and that's directly across me, why can I step here and have humidity and wind and it feels good? But if I step back behind this ray gun, well, that's because, man, remember the wind bouncing and making a wavelength? You're in the bubble. Right? And the suck, and then the push, and then the slide. So I can't come directly this way. The heat, and it's got to hit that. And then up, and then pushing, and then come, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, now it's got to build up pressure. Okay, and then it gets through. Oh, we got a vacuum spot right here. We got a vacuum where we could get some heat. Okay, and get some cloud coverage then. Okay, cloud coverage. All right, now we're gonna get a little pulse because it just collapsed, and now open, collapse, open, collapse. You see, like, man. Well, now we got that, and that's what happens. Got to collapse. We just hit the ground. Well, let's take a bigger picture, man. Need a bigger picture? Here we go. Let's give a big picture. So what we do is we come over here, okay? And the Egyptians, they were building up, okay? A 4-sided temple. We're like, okay. They didn't know what water was, so maybe if we ground them and take the water away, maybe they'll understand. So the Egyptians, they started building this stuff, man. How did the Egyptians build that stuff? With machines. Mathematics and technology. So I say, oh, it's real dry out in the desert. Well, anybody remember why? I says, well, we built a pyramid. Okay. Now, I take the trees away. Take the trees away. Take the clouds away. Take the clouds away. Take the clouds away. Now hold it. Now I got wind coming from this direction. I only got one side of the temple. You lean back, and it's just going at an angle like this. Hot air. Really fast with sand. You're throwing sand up in the air. Now, I'm really thirsty, like the salt of the earth is in the air. I'm so thirsty. I don't know what I'm gonna drink. I'm real thirsty. I'm so thirsty. The sun is beaming down. You got a big temple, man. And what do you got? 4 sides? 1, 2, 3, and then the base. And as it goes up, it thins out, crunches it down, makes a narrow beam, creates a suck, sucks the dirt and sand that's dry off of the earth, throws it here. Whatever moisture you had hopes of getting, when the sand settles, we're hoping to get air and water, you know, but we didn't have any resistors in our design for our, you know, ancient technology, because the theory is sound, but the wrong direction. So then when there's no wind, the radiation comes from the sun, and it heats it up, man, like a oven, man. And then it starts creating wind by the vacuum, and it's like a black hole on Earth, man. It's just trying to bring something that's not there. So try to bring the atmosphere down to them. Let's bring the atmosphere down to us, because we don't know what the hell we're talking about. So we just gotta bring it down to us. We'll tell God what to do. Bring it down to us. And it says, well, that's pretty stupid. So God said, that's your Tower of Babylon from the Bible. That big four-sided pyramid wanted to build themselves up to God and bring the sky down to them. The Tower of Babylon from Egypt. So when it comes down, you destroy the entire atmosphere. They got no seeds, no food, no nothing. So we created more temples in areas with this. They created more temples in areas with that, and more areas of water. Maybe we could get some water up there to bring it down over there. Well, that was a bad idea. It didn't work. So we sent machines over there to try to do this and that, but then it kept stealing the machines, and the planes kept crashing. Okay? So you need a three-sided. That way, when you get a point, it can crunch together before it lifts up. And then with the right proper stuff, then you can land the helicopters down to bring in supplies to plant this. Why? Because that's what the hurricanes are. The hurricanes come down, they don't go up. And they go, wow, if we could only do math like that before. And then we go, the reason they don't have that in the desert is because they took all those machines away, because they built that, they left it there and said, look, it's our tourism. We're bringing the atmosphere down to us. And they go, wrong idea. You got to build this with the proper structures to bring water up. Because when you run out of water up there, there's no water left, which is why they said, we're not going to destroy the world with a flood. Everybody's got to work together, or it's going to be fire and brimstone, because there won't be any damn water in the atmosphere to fly anything. Then everybody be grounded. So we said we got to build this, and maybe they can understand it now, and they understand the wavelength, twist it around the other wavelength, you put your middle ground there, and that's the DNA for the human strand of understanding, so you could fix the planet. And we go, wow, maybe they'll iron out some deals and get it nice and smooth. And the guy's like, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. I don't care about moving this dirt around right now. We're trying to negotiate with people that don't understand English and stuff. And it's like, man, you got to bring it down. Like, move it out of the way. Three-dimensional. They thought they were fifth-dimensional. Oh, we got 5 books of the Bible, so we'll make a 4-sided temple bigger than anything anybody ever seen. That's the Tower of Babylon. So he destroyed the languages and separated everybody in the 4 directions of the winds, for the winds that were destroying the planet. Now you understand the Bible. There you go.